Okay, here we are replacing a volume control on a 800C, and as you may be aware, they are made of unobtainium. You cannot get these things. I had about 6 new old stock ones in my inventory, and lo and behold, I think 4 of them didn't track well, and I just, I don't know, the other 2 had other issues, and these things were brand new, amazing. The later production from Fisher, I don't think was that great. Anyway, I have equivalent volume controls, just that the shafts are too short. So here's what you do. This is the exact control, 500K. It's a Fisher control. This is a part number R5160-160. The original is -104. So this is an R5160-160. That's a Fisher part. I think I don't even know what it's from. This might be an original pot for a KX200 or something. The same exact value. It's got the same exact loudness tap. Just that the shaft is too short. So what we do, take the old pot out. What do I do with the old pot? Hold on a second. Yeah, here's the old pot. Normally I would cut the shaft off. It has to be a steel or a brass shaft. Otherwise you're not going to solder an aluminum shaft. You can forget it. So this is but it's, you know what? It's not perfect. It's usable, but it's not perfect. In this day and age where you can't get these things, I don't know, maybe somebody will use it someday. Anyway, so I took a piece of shaft from an old pot, or you could, you know, the pot you're taking out, you can do that too. Okay, so what we do is, like I said, we cut a piece of shaft off the old pot, cut down the new pot, and we make a brass ferrule out of a piece of brass tubing. And this is the size tubing we use right here. Can we focus on this? Yeah, stock 1150 by whatever company this is. It doesn't want to focus. 932 by 0.014, as you can see there, brass tube. There's the barcode and everything. This is what I use. K&S Engineering. That's their part number, 1150. Anyway, you cut a piece of the tubing. It's going to be a little bit loose. So what you do is squash it a little bit. And you need to leave 8 millimeters on the new pot. And you need to make this 22 millimeters. You need that ratio so you have room for the knob to slide on when you have the ferrule on there, because you're going to solder this. We're going to put it all together. It takes a little bit. I use the weller, believe it or not. It takes a little bit, but with the weller, it may take a while. You got to be patient, let the solder melt, let the solder flow, but to get a little bit better control. You really should heat it faster than that, but it works. I've done it every time, and it just works. So that's what we're going to do. And when we remount it, we're not going to have room to slide the sleeve over it. So we're going to switch the sleeve from where the volume control was to here, and we're going to use this nut over here. We're just going to reverse those, because like I said, that sleeve is supposed to slide over the volume control shaft, and with the ferrule there and the solder and all of that baloney, it's not going to fit. This is a very, very precise, tight fit. That shaft won't fit. So you move it over to the loudness. This is the loudness, because this is where the face panel mounts. This is where the nut for the face panel goes. So rather than it go on the end, it's going to go over one. Big deal. It ain't going to matter. All right, so it's been removed, as you can see. Obviously, a new switch. What I normally do is I attach the 2 switch sections together to make one switch. This way everything switches together and you get a switch that's twice the current. Okay, we're going to get this soldered together now. Okay, this is the completed control. As you can see, we got the ferrule soldered on there. Got it in one piece. You have to make sure you configure it properly. Of course, the D has to face down in relation to the 3 connections with the switch off. And of course, got the new switch, which like I said, I'm going to connect the 2 sections together. And there you have it. Brand new pot. Same exact value, same exact shaft length. And we're just going to move that, like I said, that nut over, and this thing is going to go on the loudness contour instead. And we have a brand new control. Now we just got to dress all these wires, before we install it. Make sure we have wires cleaned and tinned and all that stuff. And I'm going to put a new one. This cap this is a mess in here. Looks like the old one had a fire, and the power switch must have burnt up. You could see the mark down there. So we're going to change all this junk, put a new cover on this and all of that. Okay, now you know what to do when you get a bad volume control. That is, if you could even find a replacement. I have like hundreds in Fisher stock, but these original Fisher parts, so good luck. All right, so we got the volume control and semi-installed. We just got it installed physically. Here's where I showed you before where these things have to be reversed. So this used to be on the volume control, so you switch it with the nut that holds the loudness, because the sleeve won't slide over this furrow. I got the 2 bottom wires soldered, and we're going to do the rest of them, the power connections here, and a new shield, and you'll see what it looks like when it's all finished. Okay, here's the finished 800C. The best way to mount the AM antenna is with these wire ties. Nice thin wire ties. This way anything hits it, they'll break before the antenna does. And this is it. You'll never operate one of these without feet or in its proper cabinet so it gets ventilation. And never ever put a fan on one of these things. The natural cooling is plenty, and all the fan does is make dirt build up in the circuit. So there you are, all done. Beautifully restored 800C.